Besties, thank you so much for tuning into the Raw podcast. My setup, if you are watching, might look a little different. You might be used to the green chairs, but for season 2, yes, season 2, we are officially in season 2. Season 2 might be a little different. Season 2 is called Table Talk Edition. I'm so excited because I have so many speakers and guest speakers and co-hosts lined up for this specific season. And we're going to get into why I decided to call this season Table Talk and why I have this table here. I have so much to discuss with you all. Oh my goodness. It feels like so much has happened since the last time that I recorded this episode. And that was almost a month ago, and so much has happened in a month. But truth be told, God is still good. God is still amazing, and all that He does, whether it's good or bad, He is still God, and that is all that matters. But I'm not going to get straight into it just yet. I do want to explain what Table Talk Edition entails. So if you are interested, continue listening, continue watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment. It is officially season 2. I feel like it's been a long journey. It is really season 2. I didn't even think that I would make it past episode 1, but we're here. We are here, and I'm so excited. If you are watching instead of just listening, if you are watching, the setup might look a little different. And if you are just listening, I encourage you to go watch and take a look, because the setup is completely different than what it generally is. You might be used to the green chairs and the gold table. You might be used to it all, but we switched it up for season 2. And season 2 is called Table Talk Edition. And I am sitting here at the table, and I honestly have some amazing guest speakers and co-hosts lined up specifically for this season, and I'm so excited for that. And I honestly can't wait. But your girl needs to learn patience. I honestly can't wait because Table Talk Edition is going to be amazing. And the reason why I decided to go with Table Talk Edition was because right before Jesus was crucified, He sat at the table with His disciples and He spoke to them. He brought clarity. He gave them truth, and He told them what it is that be expected of them. And at that table, that's where intimacy was spread. That's where Jesus had the opportunity to break bread with His disciples. And that is why I decided to go with Table Talk Edition, because at this table we are breaking bread, we are breaking godly wisdom together, we are sharing testimonies, we are giving each other advice, we are motivating one another, and that is what Table Talk Edition is about. So in this episode, honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. But God just kept giving me the burden and the urge to record this episode. And He's like, just speak and I got you. But one thing that I can't believe I just said, I don't know what I'm talking about. What? It literally just clicked in my head. One thing that I really wanted to talk about was how we so easily give up on God, and how we so easily think that God is the one that gave up on us, when we are actually the ones that lose faith in God. We are the ones that lose dependency in God, and we are the ones that merely give up on Him. And in situations and circumstances, you might think, oh no, God put me through this, so why am I the one that quote unquote gave up on God if He's the one that put me in this situation, if He's the one that put me in this circumstance? And it's like God put us in that for a reason, not because He gave up on us, because in His word it says that He will never leave us nor forsake us. Even in the moments where it seems like God is silent, he still hasn't given up on us. He still hasn't forsaken us. He still hasn't left us. And it's so important for us to understand that when we are going through certain situations or when we're experiencing a certain circumstance in our life, it is very important for us to understand that that is where we are allotted the opportunity to put our full trust in Him. And a lot of the times we tend to go in these broken cycles because we think that God gave up on us. So we're like, nope, I'm just going to stop going to church because you know what I'm going through is so tough and it's so hard. So I'm gonna just step back a little bit, and I'm not going to give my all to God. And God is just like, but that's giving up on me. And you're like, no, God, it's not giving up. It's just I don't have the energy. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I experienced it. I had went through a situation and I was like, God, I didn't think that you would really put me in this circumstance. I didn't think that I would really have to deal with this. I go to church faithfully every Sunday. I do this, I do that. I liturgical dance, I praise dance, I do this. I pay my tithes. That's a big one, especially when God begins to challenge us and try to develop us in our finances. We always hit them with the I pay my tithes thing. Like, come on. Like, that's your due diligence. That is what you are commanded to do. So whenever a situation erupts and you're throwing it back at God, God is laughing. He's like, that is what you're supposed to do, and that's the least that you can do, and you're going to sit here and throw it back at me. One thing that I came to the realization of, we try to punish God. We're like, you put me through this, so I'm going to do this in return. And what I mean by that is when we're going through something and God allows us to experience a certain situation and we don't like it, we feel uncomfortable. We're like, you know what, God, since you put me through this, I'm going to do this. And like, if he puts us in a situation that we feel like we can't manage, we're like, you know what, God, since I'm currently dealing with this, I'm going to just stop going to church, or I'm going to just stop doing this, or I'm going to just go to church just to go to church. And we will make these decisions not knowing that God is putting us through a test, and we're so easily failing them because God wants us to be able to fully depend on him in that situation. I had made a video on TikTok not too long ago, and it was just speaking of how God literally snapped me back into place. And he snapped me back into reality because for so long I would say that I trust God and I fully depend on God. And God had to show me how I don't and how I didn't. And it takes a long time. It took a long time for me to understand that I never really fully depended on God. But he brought me back to reality. He showed me that I literally have a backup plan for everything. He showed me that I say that I trust him with my words, but my heart doesn't trust him. And how I'm so used to disappointment and the fact that I'm so used to being let down, I create a backup plan in case something fails. And God's like, you're supposed to trust me. Even when it comes to my career, even now, I finally decided to pursue my real estate career after 2 years. Even now, I started off with a specific broker that allowed me to work part-time and things of that nature. And the whole time with me signing with the broker, I just had a slight feeling that I wasn't supposed to go down that route. But you're like, I'm like, this will help me because I still work full time. I still have a full time job. I still have a full time career. And, when it comes to being a real estate agent, it's like you basically have your own business and you have to get your own clients and stuff. So I'm like, God, I don't have the financial capabilities to just drop my job, my current job that I'm working, or start working full time so that I can support myself financially when it comes to working full time in real estate. And the whole time, God's like, I gave you the gift. He's like, I gave you the desire and I gave you the motivation and I gave you the opportunity to pursue a career that you so strongly desired, and you're going to halfway do it. He's like, I gave you the gift and you're not going to give your all. So it's like, what was the point of him giving me the gift if I wasn't going to give my all? And he's like, there's so much more that you can do, but you're just sitting on it. And it showed me that that was not me trusting him, because I prayed that God would get me through the course. I prayed that God would get me through the exams. I prayed that God would give me the discernment when it came to choosing a broker. And then when the opportunity presents itself for me to choose my broker and begin my career, I'm like, I can't really do it because I don't have the finances and I'm depending on my job. And God's like, I will give you the clients. I will give you the customers. I will give you everything that you need if you just depend on me. And it's like, when we try to do it our own way, we get upset at God and we give up on him. But God is like, if you just went down the route that I told you to go down, if you were obedient to my voice, then you wouldn't be disappointed right now. And you wouldn't have to give up on me if you just listened to me the first time.